Bonjour everyone, my name is Joe Lyon, and welcome to another episode of Portuguese Online. Today I decided to wear my Palmeiras shirt. Palmeiras is the best soccer team in the world. I'm guessing there's like 100 angry people at me right now. Today we're going to talk about the ER endings. Now last time we talked about the AR endings, and now we're going to talk about verbs that don't end in AR, but end in ER. It's pretty straightforward. So last video we went over how to conjugate a verb, and if you want to review how to do that, just look at the last video of the AR endings. We're just simply going to go over what these changes are. So we're going to do that little fun pronoun graph again. Alright, and here's the graph. Now follow me to camera 2. Hi camera 2, that is really camera 1, just moved at a different angle. Now last video at the end I gave you a couple of words. Now these words were unconjugated verbs that ended with the ER. Now the one that we're going to use today is comer, which is to eat. Oh, and by the way, what I'm doing in Brazil, whenever they want to say, are you hungry, or, eat more, they do this. I don't know why, it's kind of weird. It looks more like they're like... So like we did last time, we're going to write the unconjugated verb in each of these little segments. So now we can put in the pronouns and then the changes that the pronouns cause. For the eu form, or the first person singular, it is the exact same thing as we did for the AR. We just add an O, which makes it eu como, I eat. Now in the singular second, we have você, if you remember. Now this is not going to have an A at the end, it's going to have an E. So it's você come. And it's the exact same thing with the third person singular when you have ele and ela. Ele come, ela come. Now I absolutely love nós, or nós. Nos comemos. You put an amos at the end of the word, so instead of nos comamos, like it would be if it ended in an AR, it's nos comemos. Now this is an interesting one. We talked a little bit about this when we talked about simple phrases, but I'm going to go over it again. At the end of the second person plural, as well as the third person plural, we simply put an M. Now it looks like it would be vocês comem. However, the EM at the end of any Portuguese word gets a little bit changed. Instead of an M sounding, it kind of changes into an eng, like an ANG in English. So instead of vocês comem, it is vocês comem. So it's kind of a little weird. And it's the same thing with eles and elas. Eles comem and elas comem. And with the exception of a couple irregular verbs, this is the pattern for any verb that ends with an ER. Makes it a lot simpler because, like the AR endings, the second and the third, for both singular and plural, are basically the same ending. So really you need to memorize 4 more endings. It's not too difficult. So these are the 4 endings that are necessary to learn for the ER ending verbs. Just to be clear, when you have a singular first person, or eu, you change the ER to an u. When you have você, ele, or ela, the ending changes to an e. When you have nós, it changes to an elos. And when you have vocês, or eles, or elas, you have an eng. Now remember, it's not n, the m actually changes to an eng, such as come. Now last video I gave you a couple of other verbs that ended with an ER. My advice would be to practice using all of those verbs with these endings. Just continuously write them over and over and over again. Repetition is extremely boring, however it is the only way that you're going to learn these things. And once you learn them, once you do this over and over and over again, they're going to stick in your head and you're going to be able to do this naturally without even thinking. So next time we're going to go over the third and last type of ending for a verb, and that is the ER. No, it's not. It's the IR. What am I talking about? Which is the IR verbs. And before you watch the next video, make sure that you understand and memorize these 4, as well as the words that we're going to give you. So there's going to be 8 words for this vocab list. 3 of them are going to be the IR verbs, because many of them are irregular. And 4 of them are actually going to be in 2 videos from now. We're going to go over irregular verbs. So this is the list for you. The first one is abrir, which means to open, sentir, which means to feel, and cair, which means to fall. And the irregular verbs that we're going to go over in 2 videos is ir, which means to go, ser, which means to be, estar, which also means to be, and we'll be going over those differences in the next film, ter, which means to have, and fazer, which means to do or to make. So my name is Joe Lyon. Thank you for watching. Good luck with your memorization, and I hope to see you in the next video. Ciao!